Hi, this is Eva for Once Upon a Timeline. Welcome to Midnight Mandela. Actually, hopefully my sound is coming in. I don't think I even checked that. Yes, looks like it's good. You should hear it. Hopefully. Let me know if you don't. So people are saying their ages are off. That's interesting. Okay, let's see who's in here. Chloe was number 1, first in, futuristic, Mandanimal, jumping ship. Shari D's in, welcome, welcome. Lynn Bomar, get some kind of newish people. Crunchy Bee, Petite Pingouin, Austin 108, Eliza Pow, or POW, not sure which one. Space River News. I think that's everybody. Colorado Skywatch is in. Okay, that's it. I think we got everybody. Okay, so Lord Frybird's in. Welcome. Okay, so I don't know. It's kind of a slow week. Okay. So Lynn Bomar's not new, just new chatting. So thanks for that. Appreciate it. Kind of a little out of it today. So I decided I would go over my old images and see which ones have changed, and I'll skip some of the earlier ones because I didn't think they changed. But this one looked weird to me. Couple things I don't remember about this one. I don't remember there being a wire hanging in front of Lincoln's face. I don't remember there being like what looks like a tin can on top of here. And there might be another one there, not sure. But the other thing, I just don't remember it being this big. I remember maybe 30-40% smaller. So these guys, in comparison to the sculptor, I don't remember it being that big. And the last thing I don't remember is I don't remember this one being completed to the floor here. Washington, I did not have. It was like this much, and then there was like rough rock here. So you can see that Washington, the real Mount Rushmore, Washington, in case any of you forgot, this is supposed to be an early rendition of Mount Rushmore by the designer. So Washington's done all the way down here, and I'm wondering if we're going to see more of the real Mount Rushmore done further down. We've already seen a trend in that direction, so... Austin 108. Oh, used to be Mandela 108. Got it. That did sound slightly familiar. Powell, like the comic books. Okay, Eliza Powell. Not prisoner of war, but prisoner of Mandela, maybe. Linda Lava Lamp is in. So, let's see. All right. Oops, it's flipping on me. Okay, so that one I do think changed. I think that perhaps Lincoln is done a little further down, too. There's an interesting thing here where his ear looks weird. Let me see if I can zoom in. Okay, so what's going on here? There looks like there's an ear, but there's not an ear. On the real Mount Rushmore, I've mentioned before, there looks like there's like kind of a gun type of thing to the side of his head, which would be the left side, but it's reversed, so more like that for you guys. I looked again today. It still does not describe what that is. There is, I did scrape up a weird story about his missing left ear. That was interesting. But still no explanation for the real Mount Rushmore's weird Lincoln side of the head. I'll show the real Rushmore here coming up. This one, I don't think I see any changes on this one. Don't think I see him here. This one looks about the same. I said before that this is my home region here in San Diego. That this piece of land keeps curling down and around, and so we keep getting more and more harbor area. Okay, what did I see on here? Just a tiny few things. There's a little bit of like cloth or something up here now, or pink brush strokes that I do not remember. There's a lot of other changes. but I mentioned them last time. The only other thing is it does look like maybe God is dropped down maybe a hair lower than last time, but nothing major. I didn't see anything major in there. I'll talk about this little demon guy, though. I do think we have an addition on the demon guy. Wait, what was there? This is interesting. I don't really remember this purse back here. But the stomach didn't look like it changed. I keep thinking I'm going to catch something weird happen right there, but it has not yet happened, actually. Yeah, nope. I still don't think I see any change there. Okay. These guys are interesting. I do think the faces are a lot more chiseled now, but we kind of covered that last time. This one's kind of interesting because I just don't remember. Lincoln is basically kind of invisible on this image, and I don't remember that being the case. It really seems like this image, I don't know, but it does seem like this hidden chamber might be getting a little larger. Okay, nothing on there, nothing on there. Okay, so that was the gun thing, whatever, the side of his head. I'll come back to that one. It kind of looks like there might be more going on with this up here, too, because there's like a dark shadow up there now. So first it looked like a real temporary structure. Now there's more of a permanent structure. Then it looked like there was kind of a landing strip, and now there's this black thing. So it's like something is growing up here. Kind of looks like a little white dot might be some kind of light structure now up there. As you can see here that there's no ear here, but it doesn't actually look like the images I showed before either. I know I don't see any obvious more carvings, but it kind of looks like this scraped area might have dropped down a little bit since last time. Again, you can see the gun. There's a something here that comes down this way. There's a little notch up here. I don't know what that would be for. I just think it's bizarre that I can't find any information on this at all, whatever this thing is supposed to be. There's obviously a roundy thing there. It's not anywhere near where an ear would go. That would be down here. See, this one looks like it might be getting a little bigger to me. I wouldn't swear to it, but... There's just one more thing. Okay, nope. I think that's just a tree. This one's kind of interesting because I really recall the eyeglasses being more around, like going around over here, and that last time I checked, and I don't see that now. It looks like the glasses just go here to here, and this looks like a weird indented shaved area, but not really glasses area, so it seems like something changed right in there. This was interesting. Okay, I don't know if I would swear there's a morphology change, but I do not remember this little bone being like dropped down here like this, like it just fell. So it's just like somebody was more clumsy in this timeline. This one, I won't swear to it, but I do not recall these bangles on the neck. That's not a for sure, though, but... Okay, so this little demon guy, this is the Shiva statue at CERN, a close-up version. And I don't remember him completely decked out in these bangles on... Like, it looks like shackles almost. Both wrists and both ankles now have these shackles. I don't remember those. I remember this strap being there, but I don't remember the shackles or bangles or whatever the heck they are. And the only other thing is there seems to be a circle right here. I don't know what that is. I don't remember The snake has been slowly developing, but I don't remember there being, I don't know if that's an ear bangle, but I don't remember that being there. Again, the pyramids at Giza, they look a little smaller compared to this than last time. Well, I was going to look up that one, but I forgot. I don't think I noticed anything there. Oh, one thing I did notice here. Okay, if you guys will recall, quite some time ago, I said, oh, look, the plates in front of Jesus are empty, which was an anemia for me. I remember there being, you know, like foods kind of laid out, and there weren't like a bunch of plates in front of Jesus all empty. It just seemed kind of symbolic that the plates in front of Jesus were empty. Then I came back and went, holy hand grenades, there's food on the plates in front of Jesus again. And so then I thought, that's a Mandela. Well, now I'm looking, and again, the plates in front of Jesus are empty again. Now, there is one, looks like a little bread or something on the tablecloth, but the plates are now empty. Unless that's a plate, but I don't remember there being 3 plates. But these 2 plates are now totally empty. So either they've added a 3rd plate or the plates are empty. Actually, it's kind of hard to tell now. But I remember there being 2 plates and then being empty. I don't know what this is. I mean, there's been a lot of other changes on here. Gosh, it looks like there's a lot of these little glasses of wine or whatever that red stuff's supposed to be. More than I recall last time. Look, there's wine everywhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I remember some glasses of those, but not that many. I think that's been changing. The rest looks about the same, though. I don't notice any other changes. Okay, here. I don't remember this foot touching this foot. That's new for me. It almost looks like it's gotten erased and moved or something. There was a stain here, but it wasn't this big, and one foot did not touch the other. Now, these feet orientations, they keep changing. So for a lot of people, there was one more set of arms and legs, and it was symmetrical down the middle. But these feet keep changing. But yeah, they're touching now. That is different for me. I don't know. Can you guys see all these little changes, or am I just kind of boring the heck out of you? Okay, so now I'm going to go to what I have for today. Okay, so this is what was weird about the ear. They're talking about Borglum was the one that designed Mount Rushmore, and so they're like, why doesn't he have an ear? So this is his story. He believed the dualities of Lincoln's personality, hard as a rock, soft as velvet, were reflected in the opposite sides of his face. The right, strong and masculine, the left, soft and feminine. Borglum said of Lincoln's face, you see a half smile, half sadness, half anger, half forgiveness, half determination, half pause, a mixture of expression that drew accurately the middle course he would follow. If you look at the left side, you don't see an ear. Borglum explained in a letter to the Congressional Committee that he purposely omitted the ear because he wished attention to be drawn to the stronger right side of the face. All right, so let's just look at Mount Rushmore again. He wanted the right side of the face. Okay, so does that make any sense, like, to anybody? I mean, I know artists can be a little strange. Okay, so there's Lincoln. He wanted, so you leave off an ear over here. If somebody's missing an ear, where do you look? At the side that has the ear or the side that's missing an ear? That's my first question. By leaving off an ear, all you do is have people going, where is the ear? The one thing you would notice less if you left it on. The other thing is I kept looking for an image from this angle to see if there's an ear over here, and I literally cannot find any images that show me if there's even an ear over there. Now, one might assume there is, by the way he's talking, but do you see an ear over there? I mean, I don't. So, if he said he left the ear off the left side, then where's the ear over here? I don't see it. So then that story is even more weird. If there's no ear over here, then why make a thing out of drawing to the right side of the face? And I mean, the whole thing is just weird. So I just wanted to talk about that one real quick. History is in this timeline makes like no sense whatsoever. The right side isn't even that visible. Yeah, I know. Half idiocracy, half ridiculousness. Are you talking about that old corny movie Idiocracy? Yes. I know, this timeline really does look like it. What? It always had food. Ah, interesting. Okay. So for me, it was like food, no food, then it got food, now it's got no food. So, interesting. Roosevelt's further back. I don't know. It kind of, there was one other thing I wanted to mention. Yeah, it might be. I'm not sure on that one. There's definitely some new angles I'm seeing of it. They kind of look maybe a little more crowded. I'm just not sure on that one. Looks like kind of a lot of space by Lincoln. Looks a little more pushed to the side than I remember. I'll say that much. At least from these angles, he looks off separate from the other three. I don't remember that look. Trying to look at it from some other angles here. Maybe a little more pushed down in the center there. Okay. Got that one. All right, then I wanted to cover creation of Adam. Okay, so the one thing I forgot to mention when I was doing those photos was when I got to the creation of man. So I remember this image by Michelangelo as being man and God. For a long time, it was called Man and God. And that was like 4 years ago about. I looked this up because it was already starting to be a Mandela back then. Things were starting to change. God came down, then he got closer. And it was man and God. And then it changed to the creation of man. Now for a couple years, it was the creation of man. All right? So this time today, when I looked, it was called the creation of Adam. It was on the moniker. I'm like, creation of Adam? Is that right? So I look it up by the wiki, and yes, it's called creation of Adam now, not creation of man. So that's another change for me. Let's see. And it said on here somewhere, in Italian, it's creation of Adam, with Adam's name in it. Now, there's a whole bunch of residual people naming it creation of man all over the place. The wiki seems to say it's creation of Adam, but if you type in creation of man, oh, there's a lot of references to it. Darn, I just saw, okay. Creazione di Adamo. I can't do Italian, sorry. I'm guessing. Creazione di Adamo. So it is definitely creation of Adam now. And I think that's very suspicious. So you type in creation of man. There's so many of them. See, creation of man, creation of man. They're all talking about the same one. Oh, except for that one's in the Bible, but... Alright, so I put in images. There's going to be tons of these images of creation of Adam, which is where we are at now. So if I type in man and God, which is what I remember the title, we'll get some images from creation of what is now creation of Adam. So if it was never called man and God, then why do I get this many images? It's just very weird. So anyway, the title changed. That's my point. I remember it as creation of man as the most recent. Okay, Remy Rodriguez remembers creation of man. And I've looked at... Okay, yeah, Shari remembers it. Captain Kirk, how do you remember sky orbs? You confused me for a minute because I thought we were starting to talk about Star Trek for a minute. But no, we've got Captain Kirk in the house. Julie's Journey's in. There's too much of Washington and his head's turned. I do feel like he's been slowly shifting, which would be this way to you, Guy. And it might be a little more this time, but it's he's so subtle when he turns. Okay, let's go back here. This one's done. All right, so this is another Mandela, or just a weird sky thing. So it used to be if there was like water spouts or funnel clouds. Now I'm pretty sure this is a land-based spout. They're calling it a funnel cloud here. Or a land spout. Now, I remember water spouts, but now we have land spouts. You can see the land is right there. So unless this thing snakes around to water, it's not on water. So he's just... Apparently now these things are so tight that you can just fly around them. There's not that much violence nearby, as long as you don't get, I guess, in the stream. Let me make it a little larger if I can. So basically, he's flying around in this little dinky dinkles plane. It doesn't look like this thing made it all the way to the ground, but I've just never really seen anything like this. So pretty weird. I just thought I'd bring this one in. Buffering. If it's just you, Shari, maybe reload the page. I don't see anybody from anybody else saying it. Got a haircut last week. It was like the world's worst haircut I've ever received in my life. So it's not as bad as it was because I kind of fixed it, but my regular girl was on vacation for 6 weeks. So I just went to someone else, and usually that works out okay, but this time it really did it. It was actually like comical because... So I'll kind of show you, but I fixed it since then, but like this side was like that much longer than the other side. I mean, it literally was like, so you pull one hair from this side and one hair from this side, and there would be like that much difference. So all the hairs were like, you have like a big long hair and then a real short bunch of hair and then a big... It was like a drunk Edward Scissorhands cut it. It was really bad. So I just took the hairs and any of them were really long, I cut them to be the same as the other side. So it's kind of even out. The only saving grace is she did the back decently, which I can't reach, but yeah, it didn't come out too good. I'm gonna have to tease my hairstylist. I just say that it's lucky I don't care that much about my hair, and it's also really lucky that I can at least fix it a little bit. It would have been really bad. It literally looked like a kid cut my hair. She said she's been cutting hair for 6 years, so seemed like a really nice girl. She's just terrible at cutting hair. Buffering. Yeah, it might be. It's kind of complaining that there's not much signal. I don't know. There's not much I can do. My computer's actually working decently, so it might be just the Wi-Fi. It's impossible to keep up with the new truths. Do I laugh? Do I cry? Do I scream? Yeah, I don't know. I think you just have to laugh because I can't do much else. Would a land spout not be a tornado? In the old timeline, we had water spouts and tornadoes, but now, let's see, land spout, water spout, tornado. So they have all these rules about the high pressure system and this and that and that. And can you tell the difference between a tornado and a land spout? A tornado is spawned from a parent thunderstorm with a rotating updraft. But a land spout isn't. A land spout requires a towering cumulus cloud to be present over a boundary of converging winds near. Here's the thing about land spouts and water spouts. They are tornadoes, but there are a few qualities of land spout that differentiate from twisters that are spawned by supercell thunderstorms. Okay, land spout requires a towering cumulus cloud to be present over a boundary of converging winds near the surface, and that cumulus cloud grows and passes over the boundary. The rotating air is stretched vertically and eventually grows into a land spout. If you've ever seen a water spout develop, it's very similar, except land spouts occur over land. You are most likely to see land spouts in the high plains and especially in Colorado, but as we saw in Chicago this week, they're certainly not limited to one region. Like water spouts, you won't see a lot of damage caused by most land spouts, although it's not unheard of. Okay, so yeah, more and more stuff all the time. Used to just be water spouts and tornadoes. I agree with you. But you gotta keep up with the times. The Rushmore rightmost president looks somewhat like the Terminator. Okay, that would be... Who's the rightmost president for you? That would be Washington. That would be my leftmost, I think, because everything's reversed. Never heard the word land spout. I do think I've had that on here before, like once. Your hair looks fresh. Well, thank you. It could be we're shaving off. All right, now I'm smacking you. Yeah, at least it's even. That's all I gotta say. And I think it looks a little better in real life than it does on video, but... You want to have some fun? Check out Double Mustache. Yeah, I think I'll be safe from that one. We've already had horse mustaches. Why not double mustaches? What's the latest trends? Well, this guy's got more than two. 1, 2, 3. There's like... Oh, okay. I don't know. I've seen worse trends, that's for sure. I think that it's hard for me to not laugh at those, but somehow they are not that bad. Now, this one's funny. Double split. Okay, so I guess that's the deal. You basically just curl it into two. Not to be confused with horse mustache, in case anybody hasn't seen that one yet. Let's see, is that a good one? Some of these are better than others, but yes, horses have mustaches now. In case anybody did not get the memo, and they are so ridiculous. So ridiculous. Now, I do think horses in general are getting way better, like hair and coat, especially the mane. But this mustache business is just like the last straw. The ultimate crazy Mandela. I thought land spouts were called springs or wells. I only know if springs or wells is like, you know, piles of water on the ground. Yeah, did you know about your land spout in Chicago? Because, yeah, I've never heard of that. Squirrel beards. Well, no, Eliza Powell, the mustaches on the horses, it's real. I know it's hard to believe, but yes, they really, not all of them, but some horses really do have the mustache. And those were legitimate photos of actual horses with real mustaches that grew out of their skin and were not pasted on there. I know it's hard. This is an older Mandela, though. Yeah, yeah, I know. King Craig James, water spouts, yes. Tornadoes, yes. Hurricanes, yes. Even dust devils, but never land spouts. Did you see those satanic red wearing things walking around the city in G7? Well, I saw the G7 images of just like the regular attendance, not social distancing and not wearing masks after all the yammer that they forced on us. Yeah, certainly. But I don't remember any red satanic things. Now we have fire tornadoes and land spouts. Oh my, yes. It looks like the mustache would impede the horse while feeding. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's so long. Aren't you going to get it in your mouth? Magnetic meat. I think I talked about that. Did I talk about that? Okay, so here's the tricky part. I really got to check some of this because some of that plastic that the meat is on is like really sticky. And so although I've seen videos, I have yet to see them be able to stick. So the thing is that some people are saying that the meat is gone and magnetic. What I'm not seeing is people being able to stick it on the paper part. If there is a magnetic response back there, you would not have to stick your coin on just the plastic. You could stick it on the paper and it would still stick. So, I don't know. I'm not sure on that one. I got to get some meat out and see. Funny how nobody in Congress or power ever passed from the big C. Okay, remember to use euphemisms because if we use the word too much, then the algorithms will come and attack, and I can lose this whole video. Magnetic chicken breast. Yeah, I saw a video when somebody was sticking on a coin, but I noticed that whenever he stuck it on the paper, unless he stuck it half on the plastic, it would not stick. When he put it right on the paper, it fell off. And a magnet does not care if it's a thin piece of paper or a piece of plastic in between it. So that's why I didn't really trust that video. I mean, I'm not saying it can't happen, but I need to see a little more evidence than that. Let's see. Why are magnets sticking to packaged meat?
So as we've covered previously on this channel,
See,
a lot of people are noting that magnets
on the plastic. So what I have to see is you stick the magnet on, but what if you stick like a piece of plastic on there? Is that going to stick on there? Because if a piece of plastic sticks on there, then it's not magnetic, it's just sticky. So what I've been doing is when I see these magnetic videos, like they're saying, oh, magnets stick around the throat region. So what I did was I took a non-magnetic, very slick piece of plastic, and that stuck. So the skin is like sticky there. So, I mean, like I said, I'm not against weird stuff happening. You know, magnets sticking to humans is not half as weird as a lot of stuff I've already seen, so I'm willing to definitely entertain it, but I do a little bit of checking, and so far I haven't seen it. I'm gonna try. I mean, maybe you guys try it too, but again, like I said, try some non-magnetic stuff and see if that sticks. Because if plastic is sticking, like I tried a spoon and the spoon stuck, and that's not magnetic. I think he takes the plastic off. I don't know. I've yet to see a video where the plastic's not on. State Congress critters have died. David Ondal. See, it's so tricky because everybody in Congress is, most of them are quite old. You will expect that we will lose a congressman occasionally. So it's not really all that weird. And if the way they're doing the testing, I don't really trust it. So I really can't tell. All right, so we got a video here from Shari. I'm assuming this is going to be a magnetic meat. Put this on. Oh, this is the G7 blimps. Oh, Mount Recycle More, speaking of the devil. Wait, are we finding the... I don't see the red whatever you guys were talking about. Did we get the right... Oh, here. What is that supposed to be? Activists are making their voices heard. So are these activists? These are protesters. What are they even supposed to be protesting? I don't need this. Okay, so what's the story behind those red dudes? Pikachu. What is this, like the Mandela parade here? We've got Pikachu. We got Mount Rushmore. What else is in here? Sand designs. Stop extinction. Okay, I don't see any of the Mandanimals in there, but... Yeah, okay, so enlighten me. What are the red dudes supposed to be? A magnet should stick to the meat itself if it's magnetic. Exactly. And you could always wash the magnet, and then stick it on there. And you're cooking the meat anyway, so even if there's a couple germs, you're cooking the meat, right? I did not have the shot, but magnet and spoon stick to the upper part of my body. Yeah, that is a very good point, because I was wondering that. They were, even in the videos I've seen, they never asked any poked people to try the sticking. So it looked like about 1 out of 3 or 2 out of 5 maybe people did have a sticking, but they weren't asking the non-poked people. So you need that as a comparison. So what I found was that stuff sticks around my neck region, and then I tried Dave, and it sticks for him also, and even plastic sticks, and he has not had the little fang either. I have heard of them using magnets to clean water for crops on farms. I wonder if it has anything to do with this magnetic meat. Putting a magnet near meat should not magnetize meat. It's got to have metal in it for that. Anyway, thanks for that info, Shari. But yeah, I've kind of noticed. Now, I don't have... It won't stick to my arm, but it will stick here. I don't know. I think maybe skin is changing to be a little more elasticy, sticky. In recent years, we've heard that thing where people are saying, oh, they're magnetic, and they had spoons sticking all over their upper body and stuff. And that was before the little pokes. So... blood has iron in it. Yeah, it should not be magnetic, though. Like I said, I'm not against the concept, but I need to see a little better evidence. I am late. I saw some man that got the poke. 2 of them. Then he used a large magnet stuck to the site. He put the magnetic on the other shoulder, and the magnet fell. Yeah, it could be that right after you get the poke, it sticks really good, and then later it doesn't, and maybe it's not the same in everybody. I don't know. I'm still on the fence on that one. Fact checkers are hilarious. Check out this photo. Here are what made people talk. So, of course, they just make fun of it, but... Oh, okay, yes, that's the one I already looked. Eliza Powell. I'm sorry, but that's old timeline story that you are saying here. So Eliza says, we all have blue blood, we all have red blood. One is the O3 oxygenate blood artery, and one is the O2 depleted blood vein. That is what many people remember learning, that your blood is blue in the veins because it doesn't have the oxygen, but the minute it touches the air, it becomes oxygenated and turns from blue to red so fast that you can't ever see the blue blood. That is not the case anymore. I am sorry to inform you, but that is a rather older Mandela. The blood of humans is never blue now. That is now considered an old wives' tale. Wait, how do I type that in? Do humans have blue blood in veins? How about like that? Why veins look blue even though blood is red. So now there's come some kind of weird story about the color. I don't know. Let me see what they say, because I can't even remember it because it just sounds stupid. Your blood is always red even when it is deoxygenated. So why do your veins look blue? They aren't actually blue. There are reasons why veins look this way. And it's no longer because of blue blood. Skin absorbs blue light. Subcutaneous fat only allows blue light to penetrate skin all the way to the veins. So this is the color that is reflected back. Less energetic, warmer colors are absorbed by skin before they can travel far. Blood also absorbs light, so blood vessels appear dark. Arteries have muscular walls rather than thin walls like veins, but they likely would appear the same color if they were visible through the skin. Okay. Deoxygenated blood is dark red. Most veins carry deoxygenated blood, which is darker color than oxygenated blood. The deep color of blood makes veins appear dark too. Different sizes of vessels appear different colors. If you look closely at your veins, for example, Along the inside of your wrist, you will see your veins are not all the same color. The diameter and thickness of the walls of the veins play a part in the way light is absorbed and how much blood is seen through the vessel. Vein color depends on your perception. In part, you see veins as more blue than they really are because your brain compares the color of the blood vessel against the brighter and warmer tones of your skin. So if veins aren't blue, you may be wondering about their true color. If you have ever eaten meat, you already know the answer to this question. Blood vessels appear reddish-brown in color. There isn't much difference in color between arteries and veins. They do present different cross-sections. Arteries are thick-walled and muscular veins have thin walls. So there you go. The Mandela manages to convince you that blue veins aren't blue. They just happen to look blue. I mean, this is like kind of a stretch here, don't you think? But you have to give it to the Mandela. It can explain away anything. There are blue-blooded mutants in Appalachia. Yeah, so that's supposed to be deoxygen. They look blue because they lack oxygen, but yet, yeah, don't even get me started. Okay, so as far as I know, there's like a few animals that have blue blood, actual blue blood, and it's blue even when you see it. My veins are gone. Yeah, no, they're just red but look blue now. I miss what it was about the picture of those purple and the red I saw was like a busted ritual. I don't know, it showed the red people, but it didn't say what they were there for. They just said something vague about protesters. So I still don't know what the red people at the G7 was supposed to be. If something looks like a color, isn't it that color? Yeah. That's why every time I try to explain that the blue veins aren't blue anymore, I'm like, I can't, I can read it off to you, but I can't understand it. They can't come up with any more good stories. Well, what kind of story really explains why blue-looking veins aren't actually blue, but they just look blue? There is no good way to describe that. See you in the camps. They dump heavy metals onto us. We inhale, absorb, drink, and eat it, and whatever else that's been administered upon us. Yeah, even so, that would be, even if you're full of metal, that doesn't make you magnetic. That makes you metallic. So a magnet could stick to you if you have a lot of iron, but like other metal shouldn't. So, I don't know. I can see my veins are blue in my wrist. Yeah, but according to the storyline, they just look blue because of some weird trick of the light and all that yammer I just said. Don't ask me to explain that because I can't. It can't be, just learned it recently. Sorry. Maybe you're new to the timeline. Welcome. Because I haven't seen you here before, and that is like a couple years old Mandela for me, but I've definitely seen that people show up at the timeline in different times. Supermagnetic iron oxide nanoparticles. Who the heck knows? I don't know. What is weirder, like reality or the Mandela or fiction? Or you can't pick them apart anymore. Well, if you're eating magnetic meat, that might explain it. I don't know. Magnetic blood would clump and kill. Yeah, you would think, huh? Because all the little magnetic parts would just... Yeah, that does make sense. So what, is it in the skin then? Is Jen from Jen's Gems here? Has anyone heard from her lately? She usually texts at holidays, but hasn't. I don't think I've heard from her. Sorry. Blood does have iron in it. Okay, so then you could be metallic. If it was that bad, you stuck a magnet on you, would like all the blood, like iron, just all come running towards the magnet and you'd have a big clot there. Now that that other person's got me thinking about it. Need inputs in, welcome. Definitely must be new something. I've been here for the last 3 of your presentations and was in chat. Darn, I don't really remember you. That's interesting. I drank a blender of Smurfs. Are Smurfs supposed to be magnetic? Okay, so anyway, well, let's go on to the next thing. Now that we've gone over the old ones. Okay, this one I am not sure when it changed. It might have been a while. I just kept using the old term. So speaking of blood, I remember there is a dividing line between the brain's fluid and the blood. And I always remember this called the blood-brain border. And I studied this a lot in college. Forever, it's been the blood-brain border. And there is a fair lot of residual for this. But I was looking up something that had to do with thiamine and B1 the other day, and there's no more blood-brain border. It's changed. I don't know if you guys remember blood-brain border. So I don't know if blood's going to start going into the brain or what, but it's now, if you type in blood-brain border, it's actually the blood-brain barrier, and I've never heard of that before. And, you know, I typed in border, but it's all coming up barrier. Now, if I force it, you know, DuckDuckGo is worse than Google because it doesn't even give you the option of picking what you really want. Let's see if Google will do it. Border. Yeah, no, even Google's not giving me the option. So now I'm going to You know, there was a time when you would type stuff into the search engine and the search engine would give you listings that matched what you typed in. But apparently that is too much to ask now. Even DuckDuckGo won't do it. I did find some blood-brain border examples earlier in the week, but I'm not seeing anything now. Here. I have also heard that Botox can cross the blood-brain border as it can be used to treat migraine. There. So we have some people mentioning it. Damaging because it results in leaky blood vessels in the meninges at the blood-brain border. So some people do remember it. But as far as I'm concerned, I can see it's pretty much gone. Blood-brain barrier. So Julie's journey remembers barrier. Ah, need input 2. YouTube deleted another one of my channels. Aren't they so nice? You might have been speaking too much truth there, my friend. Were you talking about the little arm pokes, maybe? Be sure to use your euphemisms in here because I don't want the whole thing deleted. Okay, so all you guys remember is barrier. So, sorry, I must come from a distant land. It won't clump if it has a lipid nanolayer like PEG. Oh, so that's why Need Input hasn't been putting up stuff. Because you are blocked again. Yeah, it's gotten a next level. I heard Twitter is banning people for talking about Twitter banning people. So you can't talk about Twitter banning people on Twitter. Yeah, there's no censorship. Okay, so here's another one. Have you guys heard of Aeroplankton? Aeroplankton. So we've got sky rivers. That was weird. And now we have Aeroplankton. Where did they come up with this stuff? So it doesn't sound that weird on the surface of it, but it seems to be a concept that's developing. Aeroplankton are tiny life forms that float and drift in the air, carried by the current of the wind. They are the atmospheric analog to oceanic plankton. Most of the living things that make up aeroplankton are very small to microscopic, and many can be difficult to identify because their tiny size. All right, I'm going to click on it. But one thing they say about the aeroplankton is that it has a lot of viruses. So, I hate to even say the word because I will trigger the censors. But, so, if, let's see, aeroplankton made of numerous microbes, including viruses, about 1,000 different kinds of bacteria, around 40,000 varieties of fungi, and hundreds of species of protists. Algae. I thought that was really weird. So there's algae, like, living in the sky. Mosses and liverworts. Liverworts. What the heck are those? That live some part of their life cycle as aeroplankton. Spores, pollen, seeds. Additionally, peripatetic microorganisms are swept into the air from terrestrial dust storms, and an even larger amount of airborne marine microorganisms are propelled high into the atmosphere in sea spray. Aeroplankton deposits hundreds of millions of airborne viruses and tens of millions of bacteria every day on every square meter around the planet. So I don't think that closing the borders between the countries is going to solve anything if this stuff can fly through the air now. I think everybody just needs to wear their spacesuits at all times, according to this baloney. But anyway, I don't know. I've just never, I mean, I can't say it's a Mandela, but I think it's pretty weird. And since it was a slow Mandela week, it got in there. Okay, this is a big one for me. And I know Mandela Affected has said in the past that he thought there was something fishy with this, but the storyline was still the same as he was saying it. And I really just did not have time to, like, go out to the beach and check this stuff, since I still work and have a lot of other stuff. But, all right. So high tide, low tide for the waters, you know, the waves and stuff. High tide, low tide. What controls it, and when is it high and low? So one part of that's changed, and one part hasn't. What do you remember about high tide? Like, when is it high? And I'm hoping some of you will remember, as I do. Aeroplankton, so we can live without eating. Yeah, and you can get sick without being near sick people, I guess. I don't know. Never heard of aeroplankton. Need input only visits for short periods of time. But I only heard of blood-brain barrier maybe 2 to 3 years ago. Okay, interesting. Border sounds something you can cross. Probably don't like barriers. To Google something exact, use quotes. Yeah, I put that in there. But sometimes you want, like, you know, you want it almost exact, but if there's another word in there, that's okay. So you have to keep, I don't know, it's just not as good. Just have need input too. Just click on my icon. Is that even doable? They don't, you know, icons and chat are not clickable anymore. See, even I can't do it. So the old just click on my icon. Let's see. Wait, can you get it through? You might be able to get it there. Pin, report, remove. No, I can't get it through those dots either. So yeah, people can't just click on your icon. Sorry, dude. I know you're gone, but whatever. When is the tide high? When it smokes weed? When the moon's blue, I get it high. Not that kind of high. High tide twice a day. Okay, and can you tell when it's going to be high by something else? Because I remember this being the story. Moon affects tides. Full moon, high tide. All right, so the moon and its gravitational pull. That's, yeah. All right, so some of you at least remember. High when the moon is up. Yes. Okay, so there's a fair number of people who remember. Yes, when the moon is, yeah. Okay, so what I remember is the full moon, the tides were higher. And then, but that's not the case anymore. So, the moon still is supposedly affects it, but it's kind of confusing now. So what I remember is the full moon was when we would have the higher tides, like when the moon was high in the sky also. So there was like, basically the tides would follow the moon cycles. So we still have that the moon supposedly mostly creates the tides, but now the sun is involved and other stuff. Now, I used to wonder about that. Well, how come the sun doesn't affect the tides? Oh, it's too far, was what they said. But now, no. The moon phase plays a part in the tidal range. During the moon phases, the solar tides coincides with the lunar tide because the sun and moon are aligned with Earth, and their gravitational forces combine to pull the ocean's water in the same direction. These tides are known as spring tides or king tides. Sorry, there's a bug and it's bugging me. The moon affects the tides because of gravity. How does the phases of the moon affect the Earth? The moon's gravity pulls on Earth and distorts the tides, distorts them, pulls on the Earth's oceans and distorts them, causing tides. The water on the Earth closest to the moon experiences the biggest pull and bulges outward. The water on the opposite sides bulge. Okay, so let's see. All right, that is actually not a really official answer, and it's not really clear. So let me go to another one. Here, let's try. Darn it, where was that one I found? All right, here it is. This is the one. Are tides higher when the moon is directly overhead? And that is how I remember it. Tides originate in the ocean towards the coastlines. The shape of our planet has a lot to do with the differences in gravitational pull at various locations. If Earth was a true sphere covered by an ocean of constant depth, then it would be true that high tide event would occur at the location with the moon overhead. The tidal bulge would move around the Earth with the moon, but this is not the case with our planet. Now, we've kind of talked about before that people remember the Earth being spherical, and then in recent years they're like, oh no, it's more oblong. So now this is coming into play here. The Earth is not a true sphere, but bulges at the equator. It is also dotted with large land masses. Areas where the Earth's surface is higher, such as mountains, have stronger gravitational force than do places where the surface is lower, such as a valley or cavern. At the same time, the depth of the world ocean varies greatly. All of these factors play into the height of the tides. There are lags in time when an observer experiences high or low tide, and the lag varies from one location to another. So basically, you can't calculate the tides by where the moon is now. They're saying the moon still causes it, but there's like all these cajillion freaking factors. And so this kind of corresponds with what Mandela Effected's channel was saying years ago, that he noticed that the tides weren't really coinciding with the moon anymore, and he remembered it that they would, but they don't anymore. So there's kind of like no rule. I don't even know, how are they even going to know when the tides are going to hit with all that yammer. But that was a big one for me, because you used to just be able to follow the moon and know the tides. If it were true sphere with oceans at a constant depth, would it just be a puddle everywhere? Well, they weren't saying, they're basically saying that it bulges out overall, not just the tiny little bit that it's the oceans. That we're not talking about the mountains. That's like this much difference on the overall thing. Some bodies of water don't correspond strongly to tidal forces. Yeah, it was just the ocean. Although there are tides on like the Great Lakes. Okay, that makes no sense, because the sun should have a greater effect on the tides than the moon based on its mass. Yeah, you know, I just kind of accepted that at the time, but now when I think about it, I'm like, yeah, it doesn't really make sense, because the sun grabs both of us, right? So shouldn't it have the most force? Why would the moon have so much force? Is this changed at the time when we hear about the empty beaches and lakes, the water receded? Maybe. Yeah, you know, I haven't really specifically looked this up in many years, so I'm not really sure when it changed. Yeah, it was full moon, closer moon, higher tides. Yeah, but yeah, so now it's just all complicated, willy-nilly. There were some places which were not having high and low tide, no matter if it was full moon or moon was very near Earth. Yeah, it was lakes, but not the ocean. And they had little bitty tides is all. So they had little waves were a little higher, a little lower, but it was just like a tiny bit. Full moon is just optics. Yeah, I don't know now. I really don't. Definitely it's changed a lot. The orbit's changed. The way it moves has changed. Search engines are now propaganda engines. Yeah, you can't find anything on them. Although I think it's mighty convenient that, you know, with the whole Mandela and everything changing, you also can't find diddly squat on search engines. I mean, Google used to be so good. You know, you could type in weird esoteric stuff and it would scrape up, you know, some website in the middle of nowhere that only 2 people ever looked at in their life, and it would scrape it up for you. But now you can type the exact sentences that are in your own website and not find them. Search engines sell certain keywords to the highest bidders. That's why they don't reflect our searches anymore. Yeah, but they were doing that just for the ads before. And even then, I mean, it's out of control. I do use Yandex sometimes, and that's better. I feel like they're setting themselves up to be for other search engines to come in under them, though. Search engines just don't work, drives me crazy, because I remember how well they used to work. And for a really long time, Google would sell advertising space according to words and stuff, but not the regular search. They still provided the service to the people. So they've really opened themselves up for competition on that one. Concave flat donut pretzel. I really don't know the shape of their. Yeah, I don't know. You know, and I'm kind. You know, you guys know I'm kind of a simulation theory person. So, what's the shape of a simulation? Tor Onion browser is new. Is it any good? Logical. I remember that too. Searching was more fun. You could find all kind of neat stuff. They would just show you the stuff you want. But you know, even now, if you type in words that probably nobody paid for, You still don't find anything. They just suck. All right. So now we have some spelling ones. And I'm getting to ones from you guys instead of me. All right. So shiitake mushrooms in Pompeii, the place that got buried by the volcanic ash. Shiitake mushrooms and Pompeii. How do you spell shiitake and how do you spell Pompeii? That's the next question. Simulation would be a cube. I don't know, simulation. I mean, what's the shape of World of Warcraft world? Is that a cube? Is it a circle? Is it flat? Is it on the screen? I don't know. It's curious that for all the theories you can find proof for it, or evidence, I would at least say. That shouldn't happen. I do agree there's too much evidence for too many conflicting theories. Do you know the actor Roy Scheider? I missed the N, but this change isn't new for me. I don't know the actor, sorry. Shiitake and Pompeii. Pompeii, shiitake. Pompeii. General Sorrow has some different spellings than the rest. I don't play the World of Warcraft, but my point is, it's a fictional world. So if you have a fictional world, then what shape is it? It's whatever shape they say it is in the world, right? I mean, it's whatever they write into the story is the shape it is. Because all you see in front of you when you play the game, when you're in the world, is the same that we see in front of us when we're sitting in the Earth world, right? So you don't know what shape it is. You're told what shape it is. It's really just a projection onto your eyes. It doesn't really have any shape. So that's World of Warcraft. I mean, maybe somewhere in the World of Warcraft world, they say what shape their world is. If they don't, then you don't know. So is Earth like that? You know, we're just told it's a shape, so we accept it. And of course, the flat earthers say it has to be flat. Well, do we only have two options? Flat or round? You know. I've grown shiitake shrooms before. Okay. So you've got a different spelling than some of the others. I like eating shiitake. It's hard to search with Tor Onion. I had it last year. I still use Yandex. I'm a World of Warcraft player. Yeah, what shape is your world in World of Warcraft? Do they ever say what it is? Is it flat? Is it round? And how do you know? How do you know what shape it is? So what if Earth's like that? How do you know? In a simulation, the shape could change with every update. Yep. They could say it's round, and you could, canon could be that it's round, and then somebody rewrites it and goes, turns out that that was just a common misconception, and actually it was flat. In this world, there are people that claim there's a dwarf star planet larger than Jupiter heading towards the sun. Yeah, I don't know, baby. Tor is more than a browser. It's more for anonymity. Yeah, okay. I just want to find stuff. Okay, so for me, I kind of agree with some of the earlier people. I remember it as Shitake. Now, I'm kind of a fan of the Japanese language, and so I do pay attention to how things get translated. And this is my classic translation style, was always Shiitake with one I. And that's how I remember it. But now it is Shiitake. Now it actually, you know, if I'm assuming then with the double I, Shiitake, that means that there's more emphasis on the I, like it's a long I. But here we've got the official name of them are now Shiitake mushroom. I remember it as Shitake, which some of you also typed. Excuse me. Shiitake. Why don't we fly out and see for ourselves? I know it's tricky because, first of all, you have to have enough money to get a plane that goes that high. And then all the planes that go that high have these bubble windows, so it makes everything look curved. So is it curved because it's curved, or is it curved because there's a bubble window? Da-da-da. How would you know? Games have their own world shapes. Yeah, so basically you're told the shape. But if you're in World of Warcraft and you're told it's flat, you go, okay, it's flat. And then if you're in there and you're told it's round, you go, okay, it's round. It doesn't change what you see, and it actually really doesn't change the true nature of the game. It's just the official storyline that changes. Which is my point I'm trying to make. It doesn't say it's not included in the fantasy lore. But also because medieval characters don't know that much about science, but rather magic. Yeah, okay. But if they can do magic, maybe they could fly and figure it out. But probably they just don't want to think it's really important, so they left it out. Yes, Shiitake. Yeah, Mandanimal remembers as me, Shiitake. Alright, so now there's 2 eyes in Shiitake. And Pompeii. How do you spell Pompeii? So I remember again with the 1 eye. Pompei. And this is not Japanese. Interesting, over here, Italy, they have 1 eye, but even though I only typed in 1 eye, it pretty much comes up double eye. I've never seen Pompeii with double eye. Okay, so who found these 2? These are both found by John Austin, so good find. Shiitake and Pompeii. Pompeii with 2 eyes. Was an ancient city located in what is now the commune of Pompeii. Now look over here, there's 1 eye. So the commune of Pompeii has 1 eye, but actually the Pompeii itself has 2 eyes? Man, this is really flippy-floppy. I wonder if it just changed or something, because that's just weird. Offers a snapshot of Roman life, frozen in the moment it was buried. Man, Sicily's getting big over there on Italy. And what was this one again? Corsica, I think it was. It's huge. Look at it. It's gotten bigger than Sicily. These were tiny little islands before. Pompeii in Latin is a second declension masculine plural noun. Pompeiorum. According to Theodore Krauss, the root of the word Pompei would appear to be the Oscan word for the number 5, Pompeii, which suggests that either the community consisted of 5 hamlets or perhaps it was settled by a family group. Gens Pompeia. Alright, so you come over here. We have one of the old... Boy, there's a lot of residue for this. Here, it still has the 1 eye. Alright, I'm going to force it with quotes here and see what we scrape up. So I usually use the wiki as the official narrative. But see, even when I try to force it, it still comes with 2 eyes here. And we already seen in the wiki that it uses 1 eye at one part of the wiki. Pompeii, Italian Pompeii with 1 eye. So what, do we just use the Italian spelling in my old timeline, but here we use whatever spelling the 2 eyes is? Maybe? Pompeii, best Italian on Taylor Street. PompeiiUSA.com is the official website of the original Pompeii restaurants. which is spelled how I remember it. All right, so yeah, not a super ton of residual, but yeah, I definitely remember it with one eye. I'm getting sleepy all the time sudden. Geography changes make Oscar Mayer seem trite. Yes, Mayer actually changed for me when I was like a kid, like in the 70s. So that one, I remember I used to sing the song, and then suddenly the song changed, and I was all confused. Okay, so Pompeii gone. I already have two more. So those are from John Austin. Good find. So we talked a bit about when are humans, or if, or will, or might humans get two hearts. And we didn't find any natural-born humans with two hearts at that time. We only found humans that got a second heart added when their first heart wasn't doing that well. So heart transplants. But I was kind of bopping around, and Velcro de Fang mentioned something about multiple hearts, and so I looked some more, and I found that some animals have two hearts. Animals with... So we're getting there. I really think we're going to get some humans with two hearts naturally, eventually. We've got Doctor Who, which is so popular. We've seen so much of that kind of media lore making its way into reality. 8 awesome animals with multiple hearts. Not every animal has only one heart. There are several different species of animals with multiple hearts, and they can be found all over the world. Octopus. If you ever wonder which animal has 3 hearts, it's the octopus. All have 3 hearts. 1 heart to pump their blood through their circulatory system, and 2 to pump blood through their gills. Squid. The hearts have the same function as the hearts of octopus. One pumps blood, the other pump blood over the gills. Earthworms. Have you ever heard of earthworms having multiple hearts? Earthworms are one of the most common animals with multiple hearts. All earthworms are good to have around, blah, blah, blah. Earthworms have 5 hearts, although they're very primitive organs. Earthworms have 5 hearts. Hagfish. Hagfish also have 4 hearts. 1 heart functions as the main circulatory organ, while the other 3 supplement its pumping power. Hagfish live in oxygen-poor waters. Their hearts can pump for up to 36 hours with no oxygen. Cuttlefish. The cuttlefish has just 3 hearts, 1 heart pumping blood, and the other 2 pumping over the gills. Cockroaches. Everybody's least favorite bug. Their ability to survive in harsh conditions with severe injuries is well known. One of the reasons they're so hard to kill is they have 13 hearts. Experts now say that's just 1 heart with 13 chambers, but in many ways that is just semantics. The chambers are lined up in sequence, each one pumping blood to the next one in the line. This strange arrangement makes them extremely resilient, since it's almost impossible for their hearts to fail. Cockroaches live everywhere, although they're definitely well known as blah, 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 blah. Okay, you got it. The next 2 animals don't have multiple hearts in the same sense as some other animals, but we'll add them to the list nonetheless. Horses. So they're basically saying that in the foot of the horse, there's this part called the frog. And that the frog acts as a blood reservoir, and each time the foot is placed on the ground, the blood in the frog is pumped out of the frog and into the horse's arteries. So it's like a secondary pump function. It's kind of like a bellows. Every time they step down, they're pumping more blood. Humans. I think they're going to say, okay, so here they say humans with the heart transplant. But I do remember we covered this before. Human calf muscles are like hearts. They pump blood. So they're basically saying calf muscles kind of... why is the calf muscle considered the second heart? Is often considered the second heart because it plays a role within the circulatory system that is similar to the heart. One pump of the heart exerts enough power to send blood through the body, reaching the lower extremities in just seconds. That oxygen-rich blood blows through the arteries and capillaries to reach every cell of the body, providing oxygen. The oxygen-depleted blood then that used to be blue, but now is not, then needs to travel back up through the veins to reach the heart, where it will pass. The problem is that traveling back up to the heart takes more force than a single pump of the heart can provide, because the blood is flowing counter to gravity. To get the job done efficiently, the veins need negative energy from the pumping heart, plus stimulation, which is now known as the calf muscle pump. Once you learn how to calf muscle assist the heart in circulating blood through your body, you will understand why keeping your calf strong is just as important as protecting your heart through good nutrition. All right, so I talked before about how I remember there just being one big muscle in the back of the calf. We now have multiple. So is this why we needed to have two? Maybe. See if I can get this image to be a little bigger. So basically now you've got two calf muscles kind of, I guess, next to each other. And they squeeze the blood between them, it kind of looks like. Valves, present backflow. And then they have backflow valves. So basically, the pressure causes the blood to go up, but it can't go backwards because of the backflow valves. Venomuscular pumps in the lower body apply upward pressure in the veins. The foot pump initiates venous return. This occurs each time you take a step. Okay, so you're just sitting there like I am now. Maybe, what? How does it get back up then? You stop moving your legs. You stop applying upward pressure. Your heart will naturally apply some pressure to those veins. But the rate of blood flow through the lower leg slows dramatically. If your calves are inactive for long periods of time, your blood is at greater risk of pooling in the veins. This puts you at risk for developing spider veins, varicose veins, and blood clots. Okay, so anyways, that's our second heart for now. I think we'll still get like a Doctor Who style one eventually, at least some people. My calf helps the blood circulation. Weird. Yep. Yeah, wouldn't that be neat? So yeah, let's look at the calf muscle. Human calf muscle. I'm just gonna type in one, even though there's more. Okay, see, you've got that one and that one on each side. So when they're talking about calves, you've now got two of them. So I remember there just being like one right here. So yeah, see, there's two. Some images still kind of show it as one, but that's not really how it works anymore. see if I can find a better image. See again here, 1 and 2. And you can see it here with these built up ones. They look creepy. I've had this on before. All right, hold it. Calf muscle anatomy. There's more in other parts of the body too that I don't remember. I've had this on before. Maybe that one. Oh, wrong language. Nice image. The other thing I don't remember is the Achilles tendon is so long now. I really remember the Achilles tendon just being like a little bit, and then the calf muscle coming way down low and almost getting to the bottom of the foot, and then there was just a little bit of Achilles tendon there. But now the calf muscle ends like halfway down the leg. Darn it. You know, I dug this up once, but now I'm having trouble finding the different names. But anyway, you get the drill. See how it splits here? I don't remember that at all. Looks like a butt on the back of the leg. Yeah, it wasn't used to be that way for me. It was just one big muscle, right? Now we can eat cicadas. Yeah, you know, I remember them saying for many years now that crickets are supposed to taste good. I don't remember ever not being able to eat them, but it's way more of a thing now for sure. Golden blood. So golden blood, I believe, is one that's supposed to have like no antigens on it, so it can donate to anybody. But if you have no antigens, that means that you cannot take blood from many people. You have to only get golden blood. So it wasn't actually gold colored though. I just heard about that one like a week ago. So I agree that's quite likely new. The golden blood, but it wasn't actually gold colored. I wonder down the line if it will be gold colored. Golden blood is an old ME. So we've got other weird colors. There's like blue and all these different colors, but not in humans. Arnold, golden blood. Yeah, it's got no antigens. Okay, so there's that one, and then there's one more. So this is the thumbnail, and it's tech before its time, animated statue. Boink. So this one was found by, okay, so awesome animals with multiple hearts. I kind of dug that one up, but it was Velcro de Fang that was talking about 2 hearts in the comments. And now this one is from... shoot, my spelling is so bad. I think it's Dil Guzman. Dinal Guzman. DNLGZMN. User on Retcon. Dil Guzman. I'm pretty sure that's right. Man, my spelling sucks. June 1934. They had like this animatronics thing. 1934. See if I can find it here. View file. So apparently we had animatronics in 1934. So this kind of creature here, and then they would put like a rubber mask thing on it and a wig, and it would become this woman. Now, previously I found all these different expressions that she could have, but now I couldn't find it earlier today. Almost Human is She, work of Courtney Pollock, well-known sculptor of London. With the aid of small electric motor, she is smiling, coy, demure, or scornful as her master wills, rolling her eyes about in an enchanting manner. She even displays a lovely set of dimples. This living model is on display in one of the leading department stores of London. A cordon of police are required to keep the crowd moving and traffic clear in the streets. The skull is made up of hinged sections, each of which are controlled separately through levers and switches. Gears and levers connect each part to the driving motor. When a tinted rubber covering is slipped over the skull, eyebrows and hair attached, and a bit of cosmetics applied, she is transformed into a beautiful, vivacious young lady. This first animated statue may herald a new era of sculpturing. It is not too much to expect that in a few years the works of our sculptors will all take on life, will frolic about and speak, imitating in every way the persons who posed as models. All right, so apparently we had animatronics in 1934, June now, and I think Minnie might find that a little suspicious. And looks like they were pretty good stuff too. So how come we didn't start seeing these until maybe like the 70s, later 70s, I think is, or maybe even like the 80s. I don't remember anything before that. You'd think they'd be using these in like movies and stuff, right? Even the silent movies should have those. No more blue blood. Not in humans, unless you're one of those deoxygenated people that are from a certain family that have... It's kind of weird, but they're... All right, let's see. How are they even explaining that? Because... Blue people genealogy, not myth or legend. The blue people of Kentucky were an isolated enclave of Appalachian people who lived with an embarrassing skin discoloration until a young hematologist took notice and found a solution. Oh, I don't remember there being a solution. Martin Fugate, a French orphan, settled on the banks of eastern Kentucky's troublesome creek around 1820 to claim a land grant. He married a red-haired American named Elizabeth Smith with a very pale complexion. Little did they know that their union would create shades of blue people. He was, descendants were Benji Stacy. He was almost purple. Benji was born in a maternity ward, blah, blah, blah. Benjay's grandmother told the doctor a story about the blue Fugates. Incredibly, Benjay had inherited a gene dating back over 162 years. Scott's research had found hereditary methylhemoglobinemia among Alaskan Eskimos and Indians caused by an absence of the enzyme diaphorase from their red blood cells. Methylhemoglobinemia is a rare hereditary blood disorder that results from excess levels of methylhemoglobin in the blood. Methylhemoglobin is an oxidized form of hemoglobin that has decreased affinity for oxygen, resulting in reduced ability to release oxygen to tissues. This results in brown blood, giving Caucasian patients a bluish hue to their skin. That just sounds a little bit different than the story I remember reading last time. So I just remember them, it said they couldn't carry oxygen well, but it didn't say that there was just like less oxygen in the blood, but now it's a little bit more complicated. So they're basically saying what they've got brown blood that makes them look blue. It still fits with the story with the veins and stuff, but... So yeah, they don't have blue blood in the current storyline. Orange people like Oompa Loompas. Now, I believe that they're blaming that on the liver. Orange people. Real orange people. Alright, so the blue fagates could be almost purple. What are the most common causes of orange skin? Eating carrots and other foods rich in carotene may cause people to have orange skin. I think I've covered this. Carotenemia. Yes, I do remember covering that. I want my old reality back. Yeah, you know, I don't know. The thing is, we kind of assume that, like, if we went back there, everything would be kind of like normal. Like we remember it, but who knows how those timelines went. Maybe it sucks even worse over there. It's hard to say. There are people with black skin color that look purplish in Africa. They are beautiful. I wasn't able to find anything like that when I looked, but, you know, it's plausible. Because if you're kind of black but kind of reddish, I mean, that's not far from purple. It wouldn't be as weird as blue people. "9/11 happened in 1998 for myself." Yeah, no, not for me. Oh, let me think. Nope, you know what? I'm really not sure. I don't think it happened that early, though, because I don't think I lived here yet. I'll have to see when I moved here, but I don't think I moved here yet, and I know it happened when I lived here, because I remember I was in the house over here when I heard of it. Okay, so I think that's about it. Yes, that is all I have. I'm 3 years out of sync with this reality. I don't know. Everything like spins so fast. Everything goes so fast here. Like the days are so short. Yeah, so those blue blood people now have brown blood. If that makes any sense. I don't remember them having brown blood. I don't know. Okay, so that's what we got now. Pink people, person with pink skin. That wouldn't be that weird, because it would just be like a sunburn. We've got those carotenoid people, skin pigment disorders. Oh yeah, we've got vitiligo, so you got speckled people. Albino, speckled. Man, there's a lot of them, but not many images. So what would be weird? What, green person with green skin? Have we found a green person yet? The Legend of the Green Children of Woolpit. I've covered that one before. I have, okay, so that one, but that one's a legend. Hepochromatic anemia, once commonly known as chlorosis, is one potential cause of green skin. This condition results in red blood cells lacking the normal level of hemoglobin that normally gives them their red color. Consequently, people with hypochromatic anemia sometimes exhibit a green pallor to their skin. Okay, so we have people with green skin then, looks like. People with hypochromatic anemia sometimes exhibit a green pallor to their skin. Other symptoms of the condition include shortness of breath, headaches, lack of appetite, blah, blah, blah. Bruising, yeah. All right, so we have green skin, no photos. All right, let me see if I can look up hypochromatic anemia, otherwise known as chlorosis. I just feel like maybe we'll get this because there's going to be some kind of photosynthesis option eventually. All right, no photos. I think this one is pretty fresh off the presses, because I think we've looked for this before. Iron deficiency. I don't know if this is a real photo. It might be just photoshopped. Nutritional type of anemia. Anemia. Look at how they're spelling anemia. A-N-A-E-M-I-A. I've said before that just used to be A-N-E-M-I-A. Now we're getting this A-E thing coming in. Encyclopedia, now it's encyclopedia. Pedophile is now pedophile. Anemia is now anemia. All right, not really seeing an image of somebody that actually has it. Okay, here. Anemia. Okay, that's just regular anemia. It doesn't say it's the one we're looking for. Hepochromatic. Hypochromatic. Chlorosis. Let's type in chlorosis and see what we can find. Okay, so if this is kind of pretty new, we might not be able to find any images. All right, so just chlorosis in plants, but not in humans. All right, so yeah, we have green people, though. There's no images, but... So they're just saying green pallor, but give it some time. We're early in the shifts. The Native American tribes are supposedly red when compared to all the other human colors. I don't know, I've always heard that, but frankly, I just don't see it. Like, I worked at a Native American style store for quite a number of years, and we had a lot of fairly purebred natives in, and they really didn't look reddish to me, so I don't know. I mean, other than if you were out in the sun a lot, but they tend to tan pretty good, so they don't tend to get all red even from then. I would say white people would be the red ones because they're all pasty, and then they go out in the sun and get a sunburn. Talk about birthday math. Okay, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say because that's not my Mandela. It's you guys, but... So people were saying what their birthday is off by a year. So mine is really easy to calculate. So I don't think it could scoot around unless I looked and suddenly my birth year changed. But so, when you've been alive for 1 year, they say you're 1. So I guess before that you're like 0, right? So if you're born in 1970, then 1 year later you'll be 1 in 1971. I don't know what to say about birthday math. You guys have to tell me. Golden, blue, brown, and green blood. In media, aliens have black blood. Oh yeah, is there white blood? I haven't heard of white blood. Colored blood. So we've got the colors of blood, and then we've got the colors of people. Colorful blood. We've been on animal colored blood before. Is there any new ones? I don't think I've seen white or black. Even those black chickens still had red blood. You know, there's got to be clear blood because we've seen those see-through fish. So those see-through fish must have, like, see-through blood. Hemocyanin, blood. Peanut worms. What the heck? They have blood that is dark purple and can almost appear black. Okay, so we're almost at black blood. Brachiopods have dark blood. Blood is oxygenated. Blue blood. Now I know that those horseshoe crabs have blue. The oxidized copper in blood protein gives the blood molecules a blue color. The oxygen levels are controlled by temperature. When the blood is oxygenated, it turns blue. Otherwise, it is colorless. That's the reverse of how we remember veins. When it was not oxygenated, it was blue. And when it got oxygenated, it turned red. Spiders, blood is pale because of hemocyanin. Horseshoe crabs, those that have the blue blood, have blood that is light blue due to hemocyanin. Scorpions, more hemocyanin. Green blood, Billy Verdon. I do remember talking about Billy Verdon. Makes the tobacco hornworm bright green. So hornworms used to be green because they had green color on their skin, but apparently now it's because they have green blood. Skinks. Oh, this is interesting. They thrive with a high level of biliverdin in their blood, and that causes their blood to turn green. So skinks now have green blood. That is very interesting. Now, I had a friend with a skink. Never heard about green blood, but I never saw the skink bleed either. Wouldn't want to see that. Also present in muscles and bones. Another reptile with green blood is Presinohema, which is a small green salamander. Leeches. Leeches have green blood. Ugh. Yellow blood. Beetles have yellow blood. Sea cucumbers. Yellow blood. Ocellated catfish. That's a goofy looking fish. Oh, special type of fish houses completely white, translucent blood. That's not white if it's translucent. White-ish, I guess. Just like the octopus. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so white, clear blood. Icefish has totally clear and transparent blood. Insects. I feel like we're having a few more than I remember here. Yellow blood that almost white. Okay, so we've got all the colors, but not in humans. Biblically accurate angels. We've done that one before. That was one maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago. This is a total personal ME. Let's see, what is all? Is she alive now again? Oh, so somebody has a total, oh, Art Bell died 3 separate times. Interesting. Okay. LaDonna Young is in. Welcome. Every time I visit my sister, she seems different. Yeah. One of my friends is like that. She's totally flippy-floppy. There's just, you know, we'll talk about something, and a month later I'll ask her about it, and she swears it never happened. And it's just dumb stuff. It's not even, it wouldn't even be worth lying about. Okay, well, anyway, we're getting late now. I'm getting sleepy, so I think I'm gonna end it out here. Golden tortoise beetle blood. Yeah, I don't know. When someone in your life passed away but is now alive, that is very interesting. Yeah, I have not had that happen with me. It would be pretty freaky, even though I'm used to the Mandela on a lot of fronts. That would still be quite a kick to the stomach. Only a few ME throws away from humans having different colored blood. Yeah, so we've got humans with brown blood. And that, I think, is as far as we've gotten so far. So stay tuned. Like you said, a couple more shifts. I'm sure they'll say it's some kind of weird illness or something, but when the bloods change. But then later they'll go, oh, it turns out there's not many side effects from that illness. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for adding a lot of stuff to this show, as usual. And thank you to everybody who has contributed Mandelas to the show. Always appreciate it. Thank you for coming. Think good thoughts, everybody. This is Eva.